Hi, my name is Andrew Kitzmiller, and this is my presentation for IT 335, and this is my Joomla website. So the website I created is for a fake video game review and news website that I named Kitzmiller Gaming. The primary audience of my website are individuals interested in video gaming, in particular those that use PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC gaming, as well as some mobile platforms as the mediums for their gaming. The goal of this website is to provide these viewers with in-depth reviews and analysis of newly released video games on all of the platforms mentioned before, as well as provide information on games that will be released in the near future. The theme I chose for this website was called GK Gaming. It's very simplistic and user-friendly. As you can see on the side, I've included a lot of user-friendly navigation so that the user can instantly find what they are looking for after a few simple clicks. This website also contains a store that I'll show you in a little bit that will sell many of the games currently being reviewed on the website. That way, if a user reads an article and the article convinced them that, oh, I really need to buy this game, they can do so instantly. So the objective for this site overall is to create a one-stop gaming website for all of the gamers' needs when it comes to staying up to date on all of the latest gaming reviews and news. So I kind of split this website up into several different categories, as you can see up here at the top. The first section is the reviews section. This is where the website will be posting all of the reviews for the different subcategories. The subcategories include PC games, PlayStation, Xbox One, and then the final category is mobile games. This next section is the upcoming games section, and this will be where all of the news and articles about games that have yet to be released will be posted. This will contain information about the game, screenshots, videos, as well as the release dates. This next section is the news section. This will be where the users will be able to read articles on updates that like Sony has released or Microsoft has released regarding the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, any new programs or software that they have coming out for that. This next section is going to be the e-store or the shop for my website where the users will be able to buy all the games that they read about in the reviews. And this final page is going to be the contact us page where the user can contact myself for whatever reason they might need to. So now I'll start getting into the different modules, extensions, and menus that I've added to this site. So as you can see here, I've added what was called a DJ image slider that basically just cycles through a group of images, displays a headline text along with a short description or intro text that I was able to customize myself. The one thing I liked about this is it allowed me to display a large amount of content and link to various different articles on the website, but only took up a very small portion of the home page. Another thing I liked about it was that it makes the homepage a little bit more dynamic instead of just all just text and images that don't really change at all. So for the navigation with my website, I decided to go with the navigation bar featured up at the top of each page. One of the cool features that was included in the theme that I chose is that when you click a link that has subcategories, it brings up this little pop-up window that allows you to select either the parent category or the children category. So in this case, I'll click the reviews page. So the reviews page is an article category page that basically just displays the different subcategories as well as the number of articles written within each child category. So now let's take a look at one of the articles that I wrote on my website. So this is a video game review that I wrote about the video game Destiny that was released for PlayStation and Xbox One. So one of the features I included at the top of each article that I wrote was this little extension right here that I installed. This extension is called Extravote and basically allows the users to click and rate the game that is currently being reviewed in the article. So not only do the users get to read about and hear my opinion on the game, but they also get to see the opinion of what everybody else thinks about the game. So some of the other different modules that I used in the various pages on my website include the breadcrumbs displayed at the top here. This basically allows the user to see what pages they clicked and navigated through to get to where they currently are. Most of the other modules I've included over here on the right sidebar of my website. This first module is an article category module that basically just displays a parent category and then the different subcategories. I included this just because it allows the users to quickly navigate to the different pages so that they can get to exactly where they want to go with just like a few simple clicks. The next module I included is the popular articles module that basically just displays the articles that have received the most hits just so people can see what others have been interested in. The next module is the latest articles module. This displays the most recent article published on my website, so the user can quickly see all of the new information that's been posted on my website and stay up to date with all of their gaming news. This final module on the sidebar is a login form that allows the user to log in to their site so that they can vote and fill out the extra vote star ratings on all the pages. This is basically just to prevent the users from voting as much as they want and then skewing the results. So now let's take a look at one of the articles for the upcoming game, the Order 1886 that I wrote. So another one of the extensions that I installed on my website is called Sexy Polling. That basically is just a polling form that the user can fill out and it'll display in a graph what the polling results are. So in this case, I included this polling to see whether or not the users will be purchasing the upcoming game, The Order 1886. So if the user selects an option and then clicks vote, it'll then pull up a graph displaying what the most popular result is and then how that stacks up against all of the other options. The reason I included this in my site is that these results can benefit both myself and my website, as well as the game companies that are advertising and promoting their games. So I can use this because if I find out that not a lot of people are going to be purchasing a game, then I can quit covering content on that because it's only going to be appealing for a very, very small percentage of my users. The flip side, if I find out that a lot of people will be purchasing this game, I can post a lot more content and articles so that I can generate a little bit more site traffic. I could also possibly send this information over to the game companies that are trying to promote their game because they would definitely be interested in it because they could use it to determine whether or not they need to change the way they're advertising or marketing their game. So now let's take another look at one of the articles that I wrote for this website, just to give you an idea of how I laid everything out on those. So I start off most of the articles with an image or banner of the game as well as the the text before. At the top I display the extra vote that I showed you guys a little bit earlier, and then from there I start off introducing the game and the background information about the game. Usually I provide a couple different pictures of the actual gameplay, and then I start getting into the review of the game. And then at the bottom, I like to just provide a small little. So now let's take a look at one of the articles that I wrote just so you can get a feel for how I laid everything out with those. So I start off each review with a banner image of the game as well as the read more text that's displayed right here. Then I display the extra vote user rating of the game based on the number of users that have voted. At the beginning of each article, I start off with a little bit of background information about the game regarding its story and setting and things like that. And then I usually provide a picture of the actual gameplay. After I've introduced the game, I start off with a review and talk about the different things that I liked about the game, things I didn't like. And then at the bottom of the page, I post a strengths and weaknesses list. This is just so the user can quickly scroll down to the bottom of the page and just read what's good and what's bad about the game. So now let's take a look at the news page of my website. As mentioned earlier, this page just contains any new information within the gaming industry that the users might need to know or might be interested in. Currently, there's only one article written, so that's all it's really displaying. The next page on my website that I'll show you is going to be the Contact Us page. This is a small page basically just displaying the company's address, contact email, contact phone number if the user needs it, as well as an image of myself, who's the owner in this case. Down here at the bottom is a small contact form that the user can fill out to send a brief message to the company as well. Another one of the cool little modules and features on this website is a text font size increaser up here. The user can click these different buttons to increase and decrease the size of the font if they chose to do so, and then they can also just set it back to the default by clicking this little middle one right here. So now let's take a look at the e-store that I've included in this website. So as mentioned earlier, this e-store is going to be used primarily to sell the video games that I've mentioned within my reviews so that the user can instantly buy a game that they just read a great review about if they chose to do so. In this store, I've also decided to sell the consoles as well as company merchandise if the user wishes to purchase that. The tool I chose to use for the e-store is called Rock Quick Cart. So the one thing I really liked about this extension was that it was extremely easy to install and add items. I had the store up and running within less than 10 to 15 minutes of the actual installation. So now I'm going to just show you quickly what kind of went into adding the different items to the store. But before I do that, one of the other extensions I installed was called Admin Exile, which basically prevents anybody from accessing the administration site unless they add a key to the end of the URL. So for example, when I type localhost Joomla administrator, normally that would take me right to the login page, but when I type this in, instead it takes me and redirects me back to the home page. So if I want to actually access the admin site, I have to know the key, which in this case I just made it my name, which then takes me back into the backend administration login. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to jump ahead to show you the actual backend screen for the Quick Cart item manager. So basically, I just go under the Components tab and then go under Rock Quick Cart. And then from here, I can add, edit, and then publish the various different items that are going to be displayed in my shop. So in this case, I'll just take a look at the company t-shirt. So in this case, I basically just set the name of the product, the cost of it, the shipping cost if there is any. I select an image for it, and then down at the bottom here, I just provide a brief description of the product that's to be sold. Other than that, that's basically it. It was very, very simple and easy to implement. So that was basically my entire site. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my video and hope you enjoy my website, and appreciate any feedback that you guys could provide me within the school's discussion board. Thank you.